have the beautiful Oksana, CEO and founder of the Impero Group. Oksana is passionate about building brands that really showcase your values, because when you share values with a brand, you stay loyal with that brand. So I'm not going to steal her thunder. I'm going to hand over to her and tell us more about how we can create these magical connections.
Thank you, Kavita. Good afternoon, everyone. Many of you might heard the quote from Simon Sinek, where he said, start with why. I have to disagree with him and say you have to start with who, because without who, you don't really have a why. So I run a merchandise company and I help people to really stand out and be memorable. And my secret weapon is products. And why I love products, inbox is full, mailbox is empty. We go to the events, we're all overwhelmed by digital noise. And I was just at the conference yesterday with some top marketers in Australia. And guess what? I'm so glad to say that I believe that funnels time's over. Nobody want to give your email address and be bombarded. We're all exhausted. So we really need to be smart. And it's all back to the really human connections. Take time to understand what problem that we actually solve. And like Chris said, it has to be all about them. Most businesses,
Anna, sorry to interrupt. Did you have slides that you wanted to share?
Yes, I will in a minute.
Slide check.
Yes. So I'm saying that nobody cares about what you do, but everyone cares what problem you solve for them. And most of the businesses do the feature of this is what we do, rather than saying this is what the benefit. So I sell promotional products, but what that I really help people and companies to achieve, I help them with three things: acquisition, referral, retention, and actually four things, and surprise and delight. So it's cost 5 times less to keep the customer than to retain the customer. But majority of us focus all on getting the new people in. What's wrong with the people who are already in our world, and how we can create better connections? So I went to the marketing show last March, and I talked to the many people on the stands. And as a result of this event, I end up with 27 drink bottles with various logos on them. So today, I would like to share the ideas that help you to stand out, not using the drink bottle. So I'm going to share my screen, and Kavita, tell me if you can see it. Is it full screen? Can you see it?
We can.
Yeah, is it full screen?
Yep, it's full screen.
Perfect. So this is the title, Not Another Freaking Water Bottle. And full disclosure, I do sell water bottles. But the point is, I would like to share how you can add value to your clients and to your brand, but using simple and memorable, but has to be sticky merch. One of my favorite quotes is from David Ogilvy, who is a king of advertising. He says, you cannot bore people into buying your product. And when you think about it, doesn't matter what you sell. You have to position yourself and make it exciting. Even if you sell the washing powder, it is a boring product. But the people who use it, they're not boring. So you can actually sell your boring washing powder using the story of your customers. So you attract more customers, and other people would be interested and probably ready to try it. So this is why I suggest that you do the sticky merch opposite to boring merchandise. And anything in marketing, like when I work with the clients, I ask them to do the edit of everything they do in marketing. Check your website copy, check the email, check the invite that you send to your client for your next event. Is it really gonna, create some sort of emotions or create some sort of excitement? Because if it doesn't, it simply would be just misplaced and you get no reaction and you get no attendees. So use the right wording, use the appropriate design. I think back in 1970, we had 500 messages, advertising messages on daily basis. The latest data showing we got 5,000 every day. So the numbers, we have 3 seconds to grab someone attention, regardless what business you're in. We're all fighting for this little glimpse of the attention. So we have to be very strategic on how we do it. Ironically, what I do for a living, I put people's logo on the product. But in reality, and big brands spend a lot of money on the logo, and they can spend, put the logo on the stadiums and on the back of T-shirts or polo shirts for football team. But in reality, majority of small and medium business do not have budget to create brand awareness and put logo on a boards in the highways. So we need to be very strategic and think about how we can actually connect with the clients. And it's another thing, it's actually 2 different things when we talk about merchandise. The purpose of merchandise is to promote us, and actually gifts. When we talk about gifts, the gift needs to be all about the person. So when I give stuff out, I give people notebooks, not with my logo. I give the notebooks with the people name. And if they use this notebook for the 6 months, they know where it's come from, so they remember me. So opposite of logo is creating a feeling. So do you know what is the 5 words that you want people to feel every time they meet you? And it doesn't matter what industry you're in. So one of my values is creativity and fun. So when COVID came, I make a sanitizer. Everyone knows about my nail filer. I can't do boring merchandise because creativity and fun is one of my values. So I'm not suggesting you should steal someone's values, but if you are traditional, that maybe black umbrella with silver print would be the great for you. But it needs to be very specific and communicate the message. And one of the quotes I always use, that people forget what you said, people forget what you did, but people never forget how you make them feel. And if we only just think about that, and how do we bring ourselves to every meeting, to every communication, any connections, it's really going to make a difference. And another thing, it's actually our job as the business, make people to remember us. It's not their job to remember us. So what can we do to create strategic tools to stay in touch? Data, statistically, only 5% of people on the market ready to buy today. But most of the businesses focus on this 5%. And this is where you are, you have to be price competitive, it's urgency, it's just rush energy. Why don't we, I suggest we focus on that 5% people and create relationship with them and stay in touch with them very strategically. So when they're ready to buy, they choose us.
Really,
I'm not sure if many of you are familiar with Dan, but
Sana, really sorry to interrupt, but we're actually a little out of time now. So I'll be sending your presentation around to absolutely everyone. And look, highly encourage anyone who wants to continue chatting with Oksana to reach out to her directly.